Yo, Oklahoma City, we are back here at Dick's Sporting Goods for this Oklahoma City Coaches Show here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 FM here at Dick's Sporting Goods, 6601 Southwest 3rd Street here in Oklahoma City. And we absolutely have a packed house on tonight. We got Star Spencer Bobcats girls and boys basketball team. And we also have John Marshall.
Yes, sir.
Girls and boys and we have Oklahoma City coaching legends, the brothers in the flesh, the Cut Joes. And certainly we know what their impact has been in Oklahoma City and coaching. So just glad to have them. So we are here. First up on our docket tonight is John Marshall girls basketball student athlete Marjanette Turner, along with Coach Anthony Gardner. How are you guys doing on tonight?
We're doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, Marjanette, let me start with you. I got a chance to see you play the other night against U.S. Grant. Obviously, you guys, you won the game. Tell me what really inspires you to play and the way you play.
What really inspired me to play? Well, shoot, I would say my pops. He keep me going.
Does he?
Yeah, definitely.
Did he play ball?
Did he play ball? No, he just believes in me like crazy.
Absolutely. Well, that's cool. So what do you think about, how does your coach inspire you? How does he put you in the right places to do what you do? I heard you just dropped 30 on him the other night and scored 1,000 points, right, in John Marshall girls basketball history. Let's give her a hand. That's pretty amazing.
Yes, sir. Nah, I really appreciate you, though, for real.
So,
nice.
Coach Gardner, tell us, man, how'd you get started in coaching? And what is this? And how long have you been coaching girls basketball at John Marshall?
Well, this is my second year coaching girls basketball at John Marshall. Before that, I was at Douglas High School. And I had the pleasure and honor of coaching under Patrick Cudjoe for 9 years at Star Spencer.
He was my coach, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, he would have been my coach if I'd have been here. I was born and raised in Hobbs, New Mexico. Hobbs is known for high school basketball, and so I just been around the sport all my life. And this is my 19th year coaching basketball in Oklahoma City Public Schools.
Cool, man. So Marjanette, what is the thing that Coach Gardner needs for you to do for the Bears basketball team to be successful? What is that one thing Marjanette has to do?
Be a leader. Don't, really not catch no bad attitudes so they can
You'll admit that that potentially happens. You might get caught up in a play or a call and lose focus in the moment.
Yeah, and then they just follow around me. So if I fall out, they'll fall out.
So
you don't like me doing all that.
Absolutely. So what keeps you focused other than him and obviously your father inspiring you? But what is it? What's in your playlist that you're listening to before you walk out on that court?
Rod Wave.
Who is?
It's a rapper.
Oh, okay. Coach, you listen to that too?
Bro, no. I'm stuck in the 80s and the 90s, the music that we grew up with.
Young boy.
I don't listen to that stuff. I do not listen to it.
Coach, tell me what makes this team special at John Marshall, right? You guys, your opponents are in the audience on tonight. You're getting ready to play on Friday. What makes this team special? What makes them go?
They're a young, talented group of young ladies. They previously had some, not successful years. And like I said, I've had the honor and pleasure of being their coach and getting them to play together and be one. Every game we played this season, we've gotten better. We could have easily have been 4-3, but hey, a rebound here, a turnover there. But I'm honestly going to say by the end of the season, we're going to be something to watch out for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Marjanette, what is your go-to move? So when I played, I had a go-to move. It was simply just a drop step. I didn't have nothing else. Not a jump shot or anything. But what's your move?
In and out and go. Finish.
I saw something on Facebook the other day. You actually can jump pretty high. They might have, you're really athletic, obviously, when I saw you play against U.S. Grant the other day. So what about basketball that excites you? Like when you get ready to go play Star Spencer on Friday, what does that mean? Obviously, it's a storied rivalry, right? Goes back way beyond us. I've always had a
Who,
lot
me?
of fun. Yeah, just
Against Star?
Yeah,
I just want my rematch. Like, run that back. We're going to get that done.
well, okay, all right. So she's excited about playing. So,
Yeah,
Coach,
yeah.
tell me if we're listening and those who are watching, what does basketball practice look like for the lady Bears, right?
Man, a lot of fundamentals, a lot of running, a lot of just getting them to understand the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the basketball IQ is kind of low. You know, I had to, scour the halls and beg some girls to come out. Hey, I think you'd be this. I think you'd be a good part of the team. So
Sure.
fundamentals, getting their IQ better. You know, a lot of running.
Gotcha.
So a lot of running.
So in terms of coaching, you're from Hobbs.
Yeah.
Who are some of your inspirations? Obviously, you work with Coach Patrick Cutjo, but who have been some of your other coaches that have inspired you in the coaching industry?
Other coaches here in Oklahoma City, I'm going to have to honestly say it's been the Cudjos. Kendall, Kyle, Lance, and Patrick. But what, inspired me back home, I have an older brother that played collegiately and professional, Tony Benford. He's an assistant coach at TCU right now.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, like I said, Hobbs is known for high school basketball, and we've had a lot of guys come out and went and play college basketball. So
Yeah, well, that's cool. Coach Lance Cudjoe couldn't wait to sit at the table, so he made a cameo appearance on. It's all good. So Marjanette, tell me, so as you know, how long have you been playing basketball? When did you start playing basketball, and then when did you discover, you really had a passion for it?
I really started hooping in my grandma's front yard in a bucket, literally. So I was just like starting from there. I was like,
Gotcha.
I'm going to play basketball.
So do you have any aspirations to go on beyond high school and potentially play collegiate basketball?
Yeah.
All right. So are you got to – Coach, what is your strategy? Is talking to these young ladies about being prepared, SATs, SATs.
it's all the game.
Sure.
It's all the game. Just like when you and I were in college, we had those people that was telling us, hey, grades, learn how to play the game, because you're going to need that once you leave high school, once you leave college. You're going to need those skills to improve yourself and make sure that you achieve what you want to achieve.
So Marjanette, you're here. You're on 105.3. You're on YouTube. Who is out there that you want to say thank you to? What would you say to those Bear fans who are watching and listening about how they can support and encourage the Lady Bears basketball team?
I really appreciate y'all. That's all I got.
You want to tell them where to come support? Where's the game?
Yeah, y'all tap in at the game Friday. We play Star Spencer at Star.
It's going down.
Yeah,
for real.
it's going crazy.
So, Coach, in order to have a successful basketball program, there are many people that put in time and effort to make your season a success, from parents to booster clubs.
Yes.
Who are those people, and then how would you want to appreciate them? I know it's a young season.
We have like the John Marshall Foundation. Mr. Harris is fundamental.
Mr. John Marshall himself.
Mr. John Marshall, Mr. Harris is fundamental with supplying us with things we need outside of sports, like meals and just anything. Our AD, Kevin Myers, Oklahoma City Public Schools, Coach Dillbeck and his crew, and our parents. Like I have some good parents this year, like Jimmy and Tamara Lawson. Their daughter plays for me. Christy Briggs.
Great
their
feat.
daughter.
I saw her the other day.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah. So we got the community, supporting us, and that's what it takes for us to be successful.
So I'm sitting in Coach's locker in his office the other day, Coach Patrick Cutjo, and he had some snacks in there. And here's the one thing that I love about high school athletics, right? Because it's more than just coaching. It's more than just a team.
Yeah.
It's literally a family.
It is.
And those guys are coming in and out. They grabbing snacks, eating, but at the same time, there's life lessons being taught corrections being made. Coach is even still teaching English in his office.
Yes.
It's school was out, and it's constantly those little things to help student athletes get better.
Yeah.
You can share and expound and things that you do even with women's basketball.
Same thing. We always got to teach, social skills and etiquette, and just teach them to use common sense. Not everything is going to have to be an argument.
Sure.
Think before you react. So yes, we teach those life skills, and, because they're going to need them.
Absolutely.
They're going to need them. We're not going to be there with them forever.
Sure. So Marjanette, what year are you? Classification.
Class of 22.
22.
This is my last
This
year.
is it, the last hurrah. If there's one lesson you've learned in these 4 years as you've matriculated through this process, if you could name just that one thing that you're going to carry with you forward, what is that one thing?
Ew.
Sorry. We'll let Coach. Let me change the question for you, and I'll come back to you as you think. Every team has a mantra, if you will, something that kind of organically emanates from the culture of your team.
Yes.
What is that mantra for your team this year?
I preach commitment, perseverance, dedication, just achieve your goals, whatever you want to be as an adult once you leave high school, just dedication and strive for your goals.
Sure. You got an answer for me yet? No one thing?
You run that back?
So what one thing after these 4 years are you going to take away? Like if you can just narrow it down to one thing that you're going to take for the rest of your life from John Marshall.
I don't really know.
It's so many.
It is.
Such a diverse experience over there. Well, no, you don't have to answer. I'll come back with a different question here in a little bit later.
Yeah, because I don't know.
It's all good. So you guys play Friday.
Yes, sir.
What does, in football, day before game, day of a game, just kind of walk through, if there's some novice out here when it comes to what a pre-practice looks like, what does that look like for you guys as you prepare to play?
Before a game, we just do a walkthrough, get up some shots, get warmed up, go over our plays, try to add something that the other coaches haven't seen us do before. Try to add a little sneaky something in there.
Don't show anything tonight.
Don't show anything tonight. Love you, Coach.
No, that's understandable. I do have a comment. So when I was playing and we would do all of this warming up, Coach Lance, Cudjoe, and I would shoot these 3-pointers and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. And Coach Griffin would look at me and he wouldn't say much, but I would shoot them. And so when game time comes, Marjanette, he would say to me, now listen, all of those shots you just wasted, you're not shooting out there. He says if you shoot anything outside of this paint, he would pat on the chair next to him and say, this is where you're going to see.
Right.
I wasted a lot of shots. I wish I'd had an opportunity to shoot some more threes, but it just wasn't my skill set. So you can't think of one thing. Tell me perhaps one of your most fondest memories thus far as you've participated in women's basketball there at John Marshall.
Ew. All right, well, I could really say making people fall. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That boy.
She's got a crossover.
She has a mean crossover. She's a really skilled ball handler. So she's really skilled at that.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's give Coach Gardner and Marjanette a big hand. Hey, let's welcome to the stage Star Spencer, women's basketball. We have with us head coach Siobhan Gully and Asia Carter. I knew I was going to mess it up. Asia Carter, thank you. As they come, let us give a big thank you to our sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. Hello, ladies. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We talked a little earlier today, so Coach, Matt, tell me, are you excited about Friday's game?
Always. We're always excited to take the court, but, there's some special games that are on your schedule every year, and John Marshall happens to be one of ours.
Absolutely. So how long have you been at Star?
2 years.
2 years. How have you enjoyed your experience?
It's fun.
Is it? So when did you start playing basketball?
When I was like pre-K kindergarten.
Gotcha. So you have aspirations of going on beyond high school?
Yes.
Absolutely. So I'm going to talk to Coach a little bit, but I want you to think about, if I ask you what is your go-to move, tell me what your go-to move is. But, Coach, how long have you been at Star?
This is my 5th year at Star.
Got you.
Well, actually, it may be my 6th year.
So how did you get into coaching, and who was that influence?
Well, I'm a mother of boys, and so my sons, they were constantly playing sports. I played, but I never actually saw myself as a coach. It kind of just unraveled. I helped coach Impact Athletics, boys basketball, and one of the coaches, Steve Payne, who's a dear family friend, he actually came and asked me to coach some of the girls' Impact. They wanted to start a girls' Impact team. And so I started coaching them. And then the parents came over and they said, Coach, we need a coach for Rogers girls, and would you be willing to do it? So I actually came over to Rogers as a volunteer.
Gotcha.
T.M. Derrick was instrumental in that process, who was the head coach at Star Spencer before I got there. And I coached at Rogers for a year, and then she asked me to come up and coach the freshmen, which ended up being great. We did well at Rogers. We did well at Star as freshmen. So that kind of translated into, after T. Amber left, I took a break, and then I got a call one evening on a Thursday, said, hey, Coach, we need a coach for the girls' Star Spencer program. Are you willing to come do it? And I was like, okay, here we go.
So Aisha, tell me, what is it about Coach Gully? What is practice like? How is it an intense practice, or is it she's more instructional, or does it get pretty fiery? So describe her coaching style and what that looks like.
Very instructional, very helpful. You have questions, she's there when you need her, and she does get mad.
That's okay. Coaches gotta get a little intense sometimes. So let me ask you, what position do you play?
Point guard.
Point guard.
Yeah.
Right. So I would have gotten it wrong. I would have guessed somewhere else. So you can handle the ball a little bit.
A little bit.
So are you defending guards, or are you dropping down, maybe guarding posts a little bit?
Depends on the game, personnel.
Absolutely. What's your favorite side of the ball, offense or defense?
Was offense, leaning more to defense now.
Leaning more to defense. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what is your go-to move if you need to get a bucket?
Euro step.
Euro step. Did they just invent that, or has it been around for a while? They used to just call it traveling when I was
I would say I would have got called for a travel. And I can't, for whatever reason, I can't do it now. I keep practicing it, and I can't get it right because it's like, it feels weird.
It's traveling still, but at any rate, I guess, it's this new basketball game. So Coach, tell me, so that's how you got into coaching. You're a mom of boys, which I think is really cool. I'll tell you offline my first girls bad story today. I got fussed at by a 10-year-old, which is absolutely incredible to me. Can't say the same thing to this little girl I can to my boys.
No, you definitely can't. There's a difference.
So who's influenced your coaching?
Man, I don't think that he would believe this, and if anyone told him that, but Coach Cudjoe is actually someone that I do look to. We don't always see eye to eye, but we definitely, I respect him in the coaching arena because he is just such a knowledgeable coach. I definitely look up to Steve Payne. Tommy Griffin is someone who's instrumental in me playing, but also just, watching him coach, because I grew up, just kind of watching him do his thing. I actually, even Patrick Cudjoe, I love just how intense that they both are, and I have to figure out how to channel my aggressive energy and be ladylike sometimes, but I tend to be, I admire the two of them. Coach Cudjoe was actually, Coach Patrick Cudjoe is actually the person that was going to give me my first Oklahoma City public school coaching position. He offered me to coach his middle school boys, and I said, well, Coach, they offered me a position at, Star. He was like, you got to take that.
Wow.
So, I mean, I really look up to the both of them. I think overall, collectively, that group of men, Tiamber Derrick, I would be remiss if I did not mention her. I think she's an outstanding coach. Of Sherry Cole.
Sure.
Those women in the game, I respect.
That's great. So what do you talk to these young ladies about preparation for college? What does that look like within your program? We're trying to foster that in terms of trying to get them to that next level for those who have the ability, right? And so I think sometimes there's this lofty goal of Division I, right? So it's either D1 or bust, which is so much nonsense.
Flawed,
but,
for sure.
Because there's so many other opportunities. So what is your strategy, and how do you coach Aisha and others to get prepared for that?
Well, first of all, and I hope that every girl in the program that's come through the program would say the same. Like, we talk about being good women first, being good people. So when we take the floor, that is just it's a portion of life. We're basketball, the game of basketball is going to teach life. So going to college, what that looks like, what I tell them is it's getting the opportunity to go is something that you want to value, no matter what level it is, because ultimately you're looking to advance yourself as a human being. As a ball player, if you get that opportunity to get a scholarship to pay for school, God bless you, because you get to go into life out of debt.
Sure.
But ultimately, you're striving to be a good human being.
Absolutely.
And being blessed with a scholarship is something they should be equipped to do when they come to when the time arrives. Everyone should have the opportunity that comes to the program.
Sure.
And if they take it, they need to go and make the most of that opportunity, because opportunities come and go. COVID taught us that. Everything can get shut down any second.
So Aisha Carter, you are you got 24, so you're a sophomore. Up until this point, what has been your fondest or best basketball moment, right? I can tell you mine. It was a dunk on Dominique Corsi at Star. And we were playing at John Marshall, but he would probably argue me a little bit about that. But you tell me, you dunking yet?
No.
Okay, come on, you gonna get in there, girl.
Can you come back to that?
I'll come back to that. you gotta wrestle through all of these moments. All right, so you thinking about that? How much has playing basketball at Star, like how has that impacted you as a young lady? How do you think being an athlete at Star Spencer is impacting the hallways? One, I get a chance to come to Star at least once a year to teach class, but I'm also fond of Star Spencer and the heritage that it has and the athletes and the people that it has produced. So how is it being an athlete, walking those halls? Does that mean anything? Like, are you impacting the culture of Star because you're an athlete?
Having my teammates back on the court and kids whose parents have went to Star, knowing like they were athletes too, knowing that they have each other backs, know that I have my classmates back, my teammates backs.
Sure. And that's important because you guys are leaders in that school, and so people follow you. You have some influence. I like Star. I was out there at the Douglas football game, and man, I walked out in the parking lot, and there was people cooking, and I just walked around, was eating the whole time on my way out of that thing. It was a great time. As you can tell, I'm not in shape anymore, but so being an athlete it's fun in itself, but it has some responsibility. So Coach Gully, and I'll have to ask you about your last name. I played with a guy named Charles Chuck Gully. You guys all family, right?
Yes.
I assume so. So how do you help them to realize about their responsibility? Yes, you say to be good women, but to be an athlete means that inherently you are a leader. You do have influence. Someone is always watching you. How, as coaches, are you sharing that with your student athletes?
Well, first, we're telling them that you have to be exemplary. You know, you should be set apart and stand out. Someone should notice that you're different just by looking at you and the way that you're handling yourself because you are an athlete. There's a great responsibility. You know, you have more time that you have to spend here at the school. You have to represent the school. So there's a great deal of responsibility that we kind of reiterate to the girls on a consistent basis. And I would say, you know, we hold them to a pretty high standard. You know, if they're late, we just had this conversation in the locker room our last game. It's like, ladies, how many of you are late to things? And they kind of raised their hand. I'm like, hey, we got to fix that. Why? Because that starts to talk about integrity. That starts to translate onto the court, because you start falling short because you're not valuing what being on time could translate to, you just kind of not making a hustle play. And it's a stretch, but it's definitely a contributing factor in my mind in terms of mindset. So trying to challenge them. If you're late to practice, you got a consequence.
Yeah.
If you're not, if you go and your mouth, you know, if you can control what comes out of your mouth, you can control what you think, you can control what you do. So, you know, we don't allow, you know, profanity. We get it. It's pretty serious for us. That happens, there's a consequence. And, you know, when they go out, what they do, what they say, doesn't matter if they're with us, they're representing us. And so handling those things consistently, I think that helps them set themselves apart.
Sure. Aja Carter, last thing. How can you look in that camera, talk into that headset, and tell someone how to come support Star Spencer basketball on this Friday? What time they need to be there? Shout them out. Tell them.
JV girls start at 3:30. Come support. Varsity girls start at 6. You know, come show out.
Turn up.
Yeah.
Turn down for what? Coach, any last thing? Anybody you want to say thank you? We're going to get ready to take a break here in a second.
Well, of course, I want to just thank the people of Star Spencer community, because they're huge. Our alumni, Mr. Sims, oh my gosh, there's so many different people that just support our program. We have Kanisha Rowland, Chris Brown, Lavina Mosley, A.D. Anderson. Am I missing anyone? Oh, Shireen Campbell. All of which on our coaching staff, and just a great coaching staff. We couldn't do what we do without them. We're grateful to all the support that we've had. We're grateful for this opportunity to come here to represent our school. So we look forward to, you know, a great season, and we thank everyone, including the district, Mr. Dilbeck, for everything that they've done to support us. Come out and support Star Spencer Bobcats.
Well, listen, we are excited about coming and watch on Friday night. Listen, Oklahoma City, you've been listening to OKCPS Coaches Show here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 at Dick's Sporting Goods, 6601 Southwest 3rd. We'll thank some of our sponsors. We want to thank SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. I'll see you in a minute.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options and lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
doesn't cost you anything. Just enter your name, your address, and the last 4 of your social, and you can be pre-approved instantly for a brand new Kia at Boomer Kia. So what are you waiting for? Visit boomerkia.com and click the I Pre-Check banner to get pre-approved, all without any risk to your credit. Then come to Boomer Kia off I-240 in South Walker.
Sports Radio 105.3 HD1's Cash for Christmas. You can't win if you don't listen, so listen for... Call, answer a simple trivia question, and win that extra cash that you need. Happy holidays from your friends here at CBS 5.3 HD1.
Hey, this is Tina Fey. When I was a young kid, I never dreamed I'd write a Broadway musical, but now I have Mean Girls. So, in your face, young Tina. Bet you thought you were so cool with your pessimism and your turtleneck with strawberries on it. But who's laughing now? The audience, because Mean Girls is hilarious. I'm sorry, young Tina. That was harsh.
Come see Mean Girls. 1 week only, December 28th through January 2nd at the Civic Center Music Hall. Visit OKCBroadway.com.
This holiday season at Ulta Beauty, we're celebrating with a little more sparkle and a lot more deals. Holiday Beauty Bliss is here to help you find everything for the beauty lover on your list. Right now, get up to 50% off deals each week from brands like CeraVe, Benefit, Urban Decay, and more. Because a lot more gift ideas means a little less shopping stress. And to make shopping even easier, pick up the very same day. Hurry! This event ends December 25th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
Yo, we're back here for the OKCPS Coaches Show here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 FM at Dick's Sporting Goods at 6601 Southwest 3rd Street in Oklahoma City. We say thank you to our sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Sizatel Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and the one and only Big O's Pork and Dreams. Listen, I don't want to be partial, but I got one or two of my favorite coaches here on the show tonight. We're going to get to the men's basketball coaches at Star Spencer and John Marshall. But we have my freshman basketball coach, my coach from John Marshall High School, Patrick Cutjo. And we have Elijah Goldsmith with us, one of his athletes on today. Coach, man, good to see you.
Good to see you, Michael.
I felt like it was just like yesterday. I was just at John Marshall last week. I had a lot of fun, man. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. How are you?
All right, I'm going to start with you before I get into my conversation with Coach Cutjo. What year are you at John Marshall now?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior, so you've been there 4 years.
Yeah.
How has playing basketball been good for you at John Marshall?
It's an experience, man. It's keep you out of trouble, make sure your grades is good, and yeah, it's just a good culture to be a part of.
Absolutely, and obviously you come from great stock. I know your grandfather's the bishop here in town.
Yes, sir.
And so, man, how has that influence impacted you and the way you walk around John Marshall, right? As a student athlete, you have responsibility, but your name is a well-known name in the city. How does that impact you?
I just feel like everybody's watching, so you got to stay on your P's and Q's. You know, you never know who's watching, so yeah.
I'm going to ask you this question, and 4 years. This is your senior year. This is your farewell tour. Up until this point, what has been some of the best moments you've had as a basketball player, John Marshall?
The best moments for me are like more off the court, man. The bus rides, it's unbeatable, man. The bus rides is just hilarious, man. Really, they just really became my family these past 4 years, man.
Man, it's funny you would even say bus rides. You have just brought back a flood of memories to me about bus rides. And Coach Cutjo, I don't know if you really remember, but like Joe Bartee and Sheldon they used to ask Coach Griffin and Coach Maurice Daniel like some crazy questions on the bus. And Coach Daniel gave them all that they wanted and even more. So, Coach Cudjoe, tell us, man, how has it been in your time being at John Marshall?
It's been an experience. As you alluded to, this is my second stint at John Marshall. I was assistant to the legendary Charles Davis and the legendary Tommy Griffin. And so when the opportunity came to come back to John Marshall, we had done everything we could do at Star Spencer. We had won a state championship. And I knew I was turning it over in very capable hands. My brother is an extremely smart and intense coach, so I knew things were going to be great at Star Spencer. But it was an opportunity to come back home to John Marshall.
Sure.
And so it's been a great time. We've been to the state tournament. We've had 6 consecutive winning seasons. We lost the game to go to state last year, and so we're motivated to make that next step. We lost that Saturday night. There were 12 teams left. We were one of the 12 teams. We felt fortunate to get that far. And so our goal, our mission is to take that next step and get to that state tournament.
Sure. So as I watch your athletes over here play catch and play golf with each other, Coach, are you still teaching that free throw thing that you taught us back in the day?
Purse swing, cock and lock, cookie jar. We've amended it a little bit, but we find the drill hole and we try to have the proper mechanics and proper fundamentals for knocking down free throws. But it boils down not just to technique, but the mental toughness.
Well, and you're absolutely right. And let me just say this about you and what your influence and impact has been. And these guys will understand this as time gets behind them. When I talk to Brian Carter or Orlando Nicholson and everybody to a man, if we just do this, right? Like, we all know it's the drill that Coach Cudjoe taught us, right? Now, I was still a poor free throw shooter, but we hold on to those things. And can I tell you, Brian is teaching his son Carson the same things that we learned at practice, we're now sharing with our children. My sons were horrible basketball players, to be quite honest, but they play football pretty well. But teaching them the same thing. So Coach, how long have you been coaching now? And then tell us how long the tenure has been at John Marshall in both stints.
This is my 39th year teaching. It's my 38th year coaching. And I teach English and coach basketball. I'm living the dream. I really am. I don't have to teach English and coach basketball. I get to teach English and coach basketball. And I love it. I've got a couple of my students over here who I'm responsible to the entire community at John Marshall. I'm not just responsible for the basketball team.
Absolutely.
And I'm responsible for those kids who come teach English, those kids who come by, like you said, and want a sandwich out of the locker room, who aren't even basketball players in my class.
Absolutely.
And I'm responsible to the administration. Ms. Ambrose and Kevin Myers and I, we collaborate on so much that's good, not just for the basketball program, for the school in general.
Gotcha.
And I'm grateful for that relationship.
Sure. So, Brother Elijah, what are you excited about on Friday, man? As you guys get ready to play Star Spencer, tell me what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to just going out there competing, putting on a show, just having fun, man. Just enjoying my last year and just making the most out of it, taking the opportunity to just go hoop with my brothers and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what position you play?
Really, like, whatever coach need me to play, that's just how I am.
So, like I've asked the ladies thus far, if there's a move or go-to move, if coach needs 2, if he needs 3, what are you doing to get that bucket?
Just have a defender play me, just playing off instinct. If somebody open, they got a better shot than me, I'm going to kick it out.
Gotcha. So, Coach, what is it that you need this senior to do for your ball club?
Well, as he just alluded to, he said whatever's the best shot, whatever's best for the team. In the vernacular of the mentors, Eli gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. You can tell by his demeanor. You can tell by his response. He gets it. Whatever's best for the team. He plays all 5 positions, 1 through 5. He'll defend anybody. He'll get on the floor for loose balls. He'll sacrifice for the team. And he does not waste any possessions at practice. Every possession at practice, he never takes a possession off. And so Eli's going to do whatever we ask him to do. We ask him to come off a screen or to set a screen, take a pass, make a pass, fake a pass, or take a charge. Eli's going to do it.
Well, listen, he won me over when I asked him what was his go-to move to get his shot off, and he deflected and says, "Whoever has the best shot." That to me speaks volumes about who he is and what he stands for. And so, hey, listen, Coach, I love having you on. We're going to actually have you back on with your brother in a moment after I get Coach Lance Cutjoe to come over here with his student athlete. So, everybody, let's give Coach Cutjoe, Patrick Cutjoe, and Elijah Goldsmith a hand as Coach Lance Cutjoe comes and his student athlete. We want to say thank you again to our sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Sizzatail Waste Solutions, Auto Max, Grin, Moore Sneaker Boutique, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. Listen, so that as they make their way here, you guys come down and have a seat really quickly so we can go ahead and share. Tell me what your name is. Jalen Smock, right? I'm trying to get this right, man. Thanks for being on tonight. And we have Coach Lance Cutjoe. All right, so Jalen, how you doing, man?
Doing great.
What year are you?
22.
22. You smiling?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I need all that smile tonight. You excited about Friday night's game?
Yes, sir. We play tomorrow too.
Tomorrow. Who you guys play tomorrow?
Putnam Heights.
Putnam Heights. That's right. I think I asked Asia that early, and she told me. So
we have
Asia, my bad, Asia.
So we have to think about one game at a time.
Absolutely. Let's not skip ahead, Coach. So you're class 22. This is it for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what your time has been. What has that meant for you to be a basketball player, or do you play multiple sports?
It's been a great time playing at Star Spencer, and I only play basketball.
You only play basketball. Now, what position do you play?
Forward and center.
I got you. All right, Coach Cutjoe.
Yes, sir.
Want to say, man, it's always good to see you. Thank you always for your kindness toward me and just your.
Thank you for inspiring me because you're my pastor.
Well, thank you so much. So, Coach, tell us how long you've been coaching and how long you've been there at Star Spencer.
Well, it's a secret, but I've been coaching 43 years, and I've been 10 years at Star Spencer.
Oh, wow, okay. So tell me, Coach, what about this team? You've coached other teams in the past, won a state championship.
Should have won more.
What about, and I think that's every coach, right? What about this team? What makes Brother Smock and the rest of them different and special to this year's basketball team?
Well, COVID really did take a big hit on Spencer, and we're in transition. We're somewhat rebuilding. However, we're ranked 9th in the state in our class. We should be better than that. And we still expect to win a state championship. We play for championships. This team here, one good thing about them is that we're trying to establish balance, being able to shoot the ball well from the outside and the inside. And so I can see it. It's a matter of us learning to play together. We have to develop chemistry because we have a lot of kids who have not played together. Mm-hmm. So we're working real hard to get that into play. Mr. Dilbeck has been extremely instrumental in helping us try to give us the resources and tools to make that happen.
Sure. So, Jalen, I've been messing with everybody sitting in this middle seat about what's the strength of their game, what's their go-to move. Somebody said a Euro step, which I still believe is traveling. So what's the strength of your game? You look strong. You intense in that paint?
Yeah.
You're very soft-spoken, though.
Everybody got their times, but.
And Jalen, let's not say yeah. Say yes or yes, sir.
So tell me your strength. What's your move? Are you more favorable to the offensive side or the defensive side of the ball?
I like to share both equally.
Got you.
Defense and offense. I don't have a favorite move.
Got you. Just like to play. So up until this point, what has been your favorite game, right? Not to discount what's going to happen moving forward or tomorrow as you play Putnam Heights, but just in your mind, what has been the highlight thus far of your basketball career?
Playing with new people, finding new friends to play with.
Absolutely. So then after this year, do you have aspirations to go forward?
Yes, I do.
So were you looking at some schools looking at you? You're doing all the necessary work to make that happen?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So Coach, I know, Coach Cudjoe, you're really big on preparing student athletes for life after sports. Share with us some of the things that you share with these student athletes about what that preparation looks like.
Be prepared. Be competent. Be passionate in everything that you do. Never take anything for granted. Work extremely hard. Outwork your opponent. We didn't win state championships with talent. We won state championship because we were better prepared, we were competent, and we outworked everyone. And so it's very important for our student athletes to work hard, to be competent, to share. It's not about us as individuals. It's about the team.
Sure.
So one day when they grow up and they're married and they have a family, it's not about you. It's about the family. And so what's relevant is it's not about you as the individual. It's about the team.
Sure. Well, and clearly Jalen said he likes to share, and I think that's hugely important to the success of you as a young man. We're going to cut this short here in a little bit because I'm going to get Coach Patrick Cudjoe to come back on with us. But Jalen, tell me what is the takeaway for you, right? What is that one thing that's transferable, right? So in athletics, right, it's aggression. You gotta go get it. But I think it's transferable because I think in the classroom you gotta set goals. You gotta go get it. In life in general, you gotta have the same mentality. What is the one thing that you take away from just being a student athlete at Star Spencer, that thing that you think can help propel you in life moving forward?
Setting goals and being prepared.
Absolutely. Extremely important, right? We don't get to where we're trying to go haphazardly, but we have to be intentional in making steps to make those things happen. So, hey, look in that camera. Tell somebody how they can come support Star Spencer basketball. Tell somebody thank you. Shout your people out, man.
Oh, man. Ooh, when we play tomorrow, what time?
7:30.
Yeah, you come to the game tomorrow at 7:30, Star Spencer High School.
Tomorrow night, 7:30, Star Spencer High School. Hey, Coach, tell us who would you like to thank? Those coaches, your coaching staff, those parents.
First of all, I represent a community, a great community, a community that I'm proud of, and everything that I do, it's about. I think I reflect on the community, and I barely never wanted to do anything that would not be the best reflection of this community. So every game that I coach, I keep the community in mind, and it's about really representing the community in Oklahoma City Public Schools.
Sure. Well, let me tell you, we thank you so much for what you represent. Let's give Coach Lance Cudjoe and Jalen Smock a hand. Hey, Coach Patrick Cudjoe, if you can come over, Jalen, we're going to say thank you. I want to get these two brothers really quickly just for a few moments of a conversation. This may not happen too many times, but around the Christmas table or the dinner table of the Cudjoes.
Remember, your mother's watching.
Here you go.
You talk about my mama.
So let me ask you this really quickly. I clearly met Patrick Cudjoe first, then I've gotten to know Lance Cudjoe over the years. You guys, obviously, I've noticed just in our conversations a tremendous love and a tremendous respect for each other.
Yes, sir. I mean, tremendous love. We were my mother and my father, they raised us to be that way. You're your brother's keeper. And it was the number one thing to take care of your brother and always love your brother forever. And we had great role models with my dad and his brothers, and so that's a given.
So, Coach, tell me how Lance has impacted and influenced you.
Lance is my best friend. He played point guard at Northeast. I played point guard at Northeast. He played point guard at Langston. I played point guard at Langston. He plays Kappa. I play as Kappa. It's okay. Not everybody can be a Kappa. But we're not only fraternity brothers, we're brothers. We talk quite a bit about basketball.
Every night.
You know, we're very fortunate to still have our mother, and we both, you know, talk about her all the time. He teaches social studies. I teach English. We both teach core subjects. So we talk about things all the time. The main thing is we learning from each other. We just don't compete with each other. We learn from each other, and it's just an awesome experience. We took my grandson to the 100-year massacre in Tulsa, and so he learned a lot from Lance and me just being around us, and he asked a bunch of questions, a bunch of history questions, a bunch of literature questions, and so my brother was the perfect guy to go with us, to chaperone us on that excursion to the 100-year massacre in Tulsa, because he just has a wealth of knowledge where history and social studies is concerned. So we're more than just brothers, we're best friends.
Well, listen, and I'll tell you what really just gets me and makes me feel good about who you two are, and that is, Coach, you teach English. I myself was a poor student with learning disabilities, so on and so forth, and then I go to your brother's class, and he is very well
structured.
Yeah, very well versed, and you guys are constantly trying to help these students with the little things. You're still teaching the correct way to speak before basketball game. You're doing it even tonight, right? About those small things. You know, what is it about the small things that you harp on and teach because of what they really mean in someone's life?
The most important thing that I want to teach is decorum and structure. If you don't have decorum, then you don't approach life right. You don't walk down the halls correctly. You don't come prepared with pen and paper or Chromebook in this day and age.
Yeah.
And you don't attack your assignments. We tell our kids all the time, you can control your attendance, you can control your attitude, you can control your effort. And if you do those, take care of those three things, you're going to be successful in the classroom and subsequent life. And so Lance and I talk about decorum all the time. We talk about, giving that effort in the classroom.
Got you.
And Pastor, we really, really love our community. I mean, we're proud of the community that we come from. We had great instruction from our community. I don't know what this narrative is that we didn't have great schools and great teachers and great mentors. We did. And we still have it today. And we want to communicate that to our kids and our community that we're still going to be great.
Well, you certainly do, and I've talked to both of you enough to know you're not only just making an investment in these student athletes, but you're making an investment in the community. There are things that we talk about. They're never really to benefit you. They're to benefit your community because your community is a priority. The last question for both of you, and Coach Lance Cudjoe, you can go first. What motivates you to keep going after all of this time?
What motivates me, first of all, I was greatly inspired by Lance and Lawrence Cudjoe, Seafelt and Gales, and all the coaches that you've talked about, whether it be Terry Long, Dan Hayes, whatever. I'm still inspired by my mother. She still holds us accountable. I apologize for walking across the tube because someone forgot to tell our mother that we're going to be on tonight. And so, I had to call her. But even you, Pastor, on Sunday, you inspire me. If I have to find one thing that you say, it inspires me. So I'm constantly inspired all the time by many different people.
Sure. Coach Cudjoe?
What inspires me is every life problem can be addressed through literature, more importantly through Scripture.
Sure.
And so I study Scripture every morning to answer all of life's problems, whether it be basketball, whether it be English. And I just think when you teach English, you get an opportunity to explore writers and authors who can help you navigate through life.
Well, and so I learned, Coach, let me tell you something. Watching you when I was in high school, you were in the middle hallway there, not too far from the nurse's office.
Right.
You were immaculately dressed every day, right? Collar shirt on, tie. I mean, you were just, you represented that every day. You became, and other coaches and teachers became the inspiration for me to say, I want to look like that, right? So even when I was in college and could wear the sweats and all that kind of stuff, I wanted to dress up because that's what I saw. And so you guys are having an influence and impact on guys way beyond. I promise you, there's not a time that I get together with any of my classmates that Patrick Cudjoe's name does not come up. And in great ways. And you're talking about literature and just inspiring people. You know, life has challenges, right? So I heard this poem. Look, they cutting me off because I'm running over. Listen, so, but it says this: I've walked a mile with pleasure and she chattered all the way. But none the wiser she left me with all she had to say. But I've walked a mile with sorrow and never a word said she. But all the things that sorrow taught me as she walked with me. And as you coach kids, you learn and progress through diversity, right?
That's true.
Through the challenges of life. So tomorrow night in the basketball game, Friday night, there's going to be a rough spot. But what will you learn in that process?
Well, my brother and I share the joy that we both won state championships at Star Spencer. And so I won one in 2009 at Star Spencer. He won in 2018. And so it's just a special thing. So I know how tough that is a place to play.
Sure.
And so I'm trying to prepare my kids to go there and play hard, and the environment. And it's going to be a magical, competitive environment. And we embrace it and look forward to it.
Hey, listen, I remember some days in that gym. Oh, my goodness. We can talk about them off air. I think my time is about up. And let me say, let's give a big round of applause to Lance and Patrick Cudjoe, Star Spencer, and John Marshall. Listen, we want to say thank you to Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Scissortail, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutiques, and the one and only Big O's Pork and
We love
Dreams.
you, Mother.
Go Bears.
Hey, yes,
Go
and
Bobcats.
we will be back on in January the 10th. We'll see you guys January 10th. Let's give them another big round of applause. Thank you, Coach Cudjoes.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune in to my show, Super Prep Live. Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live. Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.